You know, I've never watched horror movies really. I'm gonna be honest. Never really cared for them that much. But today that changes. We got a horror pro with us today.
Yeah, it's me, Kenzie.
I don't know who this guy is. I'm paying him a fiver. Anyway, we're gonna be watching 3 horror movies today. Listen, we're watching a couple like Halloween. I don't know the other fucking two, so we're just gonna go.
So what we'll be watching is Halloween, the original,
I don't know what that film is.
the Blair Witch Project,
Who?
which is
Wizard of Oz.
so Miles being a horror noob, he's never watched a horror movie in his life, and I'm more of a slasher guy, so we'll be watching slashers. And the first movie is Halloween, and here's Miles's first thoughts before we press play on the movie.
I've played horror games. I know Michael Myers. His knife, kitchen knife. That's about all I know about him, to be honest. Other than his name's Michael, I think. I don't know. He might have a secret identity. But yeah, to be honest, this is the one I'm looking most forward to. The only other horror movie I actually have interest in watching are the Friday the 13th movies. So, well, I'll find out.
And the only reason we're not watching Friday the 13th is because the box that I've got is region locked, so I've had it for about 4 years and never been able to watch it. So here we go with Halloween.
It's for collector purpose, guys.
Right, we are literally 1 minute off watching Halloween 78, and obviously it's my favourite horror movie ever, and I'm just going to give the mic to Miles because this is his first horror movie, and I want to hear his first thoughts, because I told him to stay quiet until we got the mic set up, so here he is.
Sorry, I was calling Michael Myers there, so same guy basically. But yeah, I don't know what to think of it. It's a lot different than I was expecting, to be honest, because the kills they were a lot more just like to the point, just strangle against the wall, stab through the chest, just stabbed out the sister. It's a lot different than I was expecting, to be honest, because they put more of an emphasis on the storytelling via the score, telling you the feeling of the character, But no, yeah, I think I like that the score actually gave us like how the set the mood. So when they were in the car, I don't remember the character name. I think one of them's Laurie. Annie, yeah, Laurie. Annie and Laurie, right? I like when they were in the car, and then there was like the obviously like pop music in like the 80s, that beat, yeah, in the car, yeah, and then obviously there's that level of uneasiness whenever Michael was around. I also like that he just, like, a lot of the scenes, you wouldn't even see his face for a lot of the movie. You'd get it from afar, but you wouldn't be able to see much. All of it's just heavy breathing. Although the only thing I'd say with the breathing is you sound a bit like a dog, to be fair, like going...
But, like, I do think a part of it is that Michael Myers is emphasized as a animal, a creature not of this world, we would say.
Yeah, he's viewed more as a monster than like a human. I'd also say as well what I like with Michael Myers though, there's a lot of setup before he actually does something. He doesn't just kill. He waits for the moment to kill. He doesn't just kill when he sees someone, because there's a lot of planning. Literally, he stalks people, waits for the moment. 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead. I think it's cool that he actually just waits. He waits and then kills them with his iconic kitchen knife.
Alright, I'm just gonna quick fire some questions, okay? What's your opinion on the acting in this movie?
The acting, well, I mean, the acting, I'll be honest, I was a bit indifferent with the acting. I didn't really think much about it. I mean, I'd say I don't really want to criticize the audio too harsh, because obviously it's an older film, because we watched the Ultra HD 4K,
which was the Scream Factory hardcover one, which I have all the movies on for Halloween.
Yeah, a little nerd. But yeah, I think I do think the acting, I think it was good enough. I don't think it's the worst acting I've ever seen, but I wouldn't say it's like top of the line acting. But you gotta respect the classics, It's like, I think I'm neutral on the film for now. But I do like Michael Myers' interpretation of waiting to kill people, and like I say, the portrayal of a monster, as literally in the first few minutes of the film, the doctor says it rather than him.
What's your opinion on some of like the shots of, like, especially that famous one when he's like when Laurie Strode's here and he's coming out of the doorway in the darkness? What's your opinion on like those type of shots, and even like the one where the door and stuff?
Yeah. I really like the emphasis on his mask, because you don't really see his body. He's mainly just his mask, which I really like, with the dark clothing, white mask. Because there's a really cool shot when I forgot her name, but she's doing the laundry.
Annie.
Yeah, Andy. She's doing the laundry. And through the window, there's a really cool shot of his mask when he's just staring through. It's a really nice shot. It's a really, really nice shot. I think the shots in this film are pretty good.
Also, with the mask is like with Michael Myers, the mask is just plain pale, so it's emotionless like him, and I think that really adds to it with him just staring blankly at his future victims. I know we went over the music softly and stuff, but like, do you think the music is like top notch for a movie you've never watched? And like, is it better than other movies with music you've watched?
Well, that's kind of hard to comment on, to be honest, for music wise, because when I watch a movie, a lot of the time, I'll be honest, like music kind of blurs in the background for me. There's very few times where I'm like, ooh, the music. Although I feel like with this movie particularly, the music stands out a lot more due to the fact, like I said, that sets the tone, I think, really well, and more of an emphasis because there's a lot more quietness. Well, a lot of time music will be slapped on, and character will be talking, it's gonna be like subtle background music or something, or like, you know, there'll be just no music at all. But this movie particularly really wants you to have an emphasis on the music, especially because it's louder. I feel like than most movies. I feel like I say, it's a lot quieter, but this movie is a lot louder because it's trying to portray things through music.
I think John Carpenter is particularly, because he was like the mastermind of this movie, and like you can tell in other movies about his music is very important to him, but in this movie I think he just gets a perfect mix of everything because it tells the story of like uneasiness and the car ride, and it's just everything is just, it's so impactful in the music. What was your opinion on the kills, like in general?
So the kills, so I'll be honest, my only experience of horror movie kills is through Dead Meat. I'll be honest. I've not watched them in a while, but I did like watching the kills. Now, for these kills, they weren't necessarily anything like crazy in my opinion, especially to some of the ones you can get in films, right?
Terrifier.
I've not watched Terrifier. I've not seen the kill count for that. So I mean, listen, go and play with that one time. might be scary, bro. But like I say, I think the kills, I think for Michael Myers, what I do like about them is they're just cold and quick. He just tries to kill them and to get his target, and he literally sets up a plan like, okay, I'm gonna lock all this stuff, kill Laurie.
Well, his objective was to kill Corey, but Corey is Corey.
Corey X Kenshin's gonna die by Michael Myers. Oh my.
His objective was to kill Laurie, but obviously if you've watched the movie, spoiler alert, she doesn't die.
She didn't? Also, Michael Myers is a tank. He gets shot like 6 times, and then for some reason, bro, he's faking that pain, bro. He's literally doing, he's so overdramatic about it. He's doing like all these flips and stuff. Somehow hops up onto the balcony and falls off. What a drama queen.
Obviously he's not watched the other films, but would you have liked to see Dr. Loomis more in the movie? He was the aura guy with the suit.
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah, I know the doctor. I remember the doctor. Oh, I don't know. He just said Dr. Loomis, I think. Yeah. But I only know him as Doc. But yeah, Doc. I mean, I do like that he treats Michael Myers more like a beast because he gave up connecting with him. I think he said after 7 or 8 years because he realized he needed maximum containment. He was too dangerous.
Yeah, basically he said for 8 years he tried to get through to him, and then the next 7 years was to keep him locked up and never to get out.
Yeah, another thing was, I was surprised they actually even showed the mask, like him with off the mask. I think it's cool though that he was missing an eye because she stabbed him in the eye with I think it was a coat hanger.
It was a coat hanger, yes. Also, what's your opinion on the final girl like ideas, like Laurie Strode chucking the knife next to Michael Myers every time he went down? We were talking about this in the movie, and we were like, obviously I've watched it and stuff, but like what's your opinion?
It's just horror movie tropes, I guess. Like I don't know too much about them other than jump scares. So this is a slasher, so it's not really jump scares. It's just kills more so. I mean, there'll be probably jump scares in them, but not as common, I'd imagine. But I don't know. I think it's very interesting that conveniently it's like the first time. Okay, maybe the first time. Okay, maybe the first time. Like, okay, I killed him. I stabbed him in the neck. Maybe, right? Second time. Listen, you didn't kill him the first time. Second time's the trial, right? Okay, maybe, like, I get he was on the ground, right? But you didn't check his pulse or anything. You didn't check a heartbeat. You just stared at him and said, yup, pretty dead to me. And then he gets up. Like, if it didn't work the first time, the second time, listen, I'll give the pass the first time, right? I'll give the pass the first one, okay? Can I get the thought process? If you go in the neck, you think you're gonna die, right? Second time, though, alright, what we doing? He took multiple bullet wounds, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. He ain't dying to no stab in the neck.
We've not talked about this yet, funnily enough. We've not talked about the setup for the whole start of the movie with, like, the characters, like, getting introduced and stuff, and, like, him stalking Laurie. What's your opinion on all, like, that? Especially Laurie and Michael's, like, stalking, like, Michael Myers looking at him and all that. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think I do think it's pretty cool that Michael Myers, like I say, he's actually like watching as everything happens, so he can like set up a plan for something. He's not just like, I'm gonna kill you now. I'm outside your school. I think I'll just grab you at the corner. You know, he tried to keep a low profile. And I also think as well, like at the beginning of the movie, I find it interesting though, right? That I mean, he was already like wearing a like clown mask and stuff to kill his sister with a knife. Although, all I can say though, he hates horny people.
He certainly does. What is your opinion on the opening scene, like including like the introduction, like the Halloween theme song introducing like the director and stuff, and like the camera going slowly zooming into the pumpkin and stuff, and like obviously the intro scene.
I think, to be honest, what I think is really cool though is the fact the pumpkin is actually Michael Myers. It's pretty hard to notice, to be fair, in my opinion. I wasn't very great at like just going.
Yeah, I mentioned it to Miles, but it's more clearer in 2018, I'm pretty sure. But like, because obviously it's done better and higher budget.
Is 2018 a remake actually?
No, it's a direct sequel to the original.
Oh right, okay. So what is there some like so is there some like massive like timeline here where there's other ones that aren't like
Halloween is probably the worst timeline thing in horror. Like, I think ironically it's got 6 different timelines.
6.
Yeah. So I think there's a few conspiracy fan theory ones, but like there's like 6 of them.
That's a lot of fucking.
Back on track though. Before I go on.
That
around.
was on track.
What's your opinion on the opening scene of like especially with the clown mask when he puts on, you see like the little eyes coming out of it and stuff?
I think it's cool that we see the perspective of young Michael, like and the fact that thing is, I think it's so cool that the knife is actually like the first thing he gets. It's not even like a later thing. It's the first thing he kills someone with. I think that's cool. I like the fact that he's slowly watching them too. Like it shows that these are patterns he's continued to have in adulthood. He slowly stalks you, and then he stabs you to death, or he strangles you, or he pins you against the wall and then stabs you through the stomach. And impressively enough, bro, that knife, bro, that body did not fall. He had that thing planted. Good job, Michael. Alright.
It's basically just he's got really bad OCD with the stalking, and it has to be perfect. Was there any overall negatives you had for the Watch Your Words as well? I'm joking.
Hey, listen, any negative thing I'm gonna say can be edited out, bro. This guy's controlling the LobbyMusic. He's evil. He is LobbyMusic.
That's your line.
Yeah, I know it's not line. But, yeah, I think, obviously, like I said, I'm not gonna blame the audio because it's unfortunate, but, you know, older movies, not like audio restoration's gonna be as goated as, like, the visual restoration, unless they got every actor and said, read this line right now. We're gonna sync it all. You didn't even make a single second mistake. You're redoing the whole film. So yeah, no, I mean, I would say, I mean, I don't think it's funny that a guy was the police officer was like, oh, it's just kids stealing a knife, mask and stuff. It's like, okay, so I get what you're saying, right? But maybe a bit of emphasis on that knife there that he stole, you know? like if it was the mask and stuff, it'd be like, okay, yeah, it's just kids. The knife though, I don't know about that one. Like, look, it's a giant kitchen knife.
I would say like it's a 300mm knife. We're talking. It's like a huge, massive knife. It's the biggest one you can get.
Yeah, like, I don't know if that's some kid just stealing that. I don't think any little Billy is gonna be, oh, look at this cool trick I got know with it, and start flipping around. No, I think this maybe dangerous men, maybe a mentally disturbed human even, maybe not even a human, maybe a monster named Michael.
So your negatives are really just like little nitpicky setup things. Like audio obviously is a big thing, but I mean, can't do much about that.
I mean, I think maybe I guess like I get like the purpose of the kills were just to be quick and cool and calculated rather than like actual like cinematic eye candy or something like I say. I mean,
gore candy.
Yeah, gore candy, I guess you'd say, right? So it's not really grotesque, it's trying straight to the point. I mean, I do want to see some, like, crazy creative kills and stuff, because these ones were just straight to the point, but I feel like this fits Michael Myers in this film, this interpretation of him. Like, it makes sense what they're going for. It's not like it's some random, I don't know, he's like, check this out, he's gonna, do Jason, fold the bed on the person, crushing them, like...
Yeah. And last but not least, what's your rating out of 10, and why?
Okay, no, I'm pretty bad with out of 10 ratings early on though, so thanks. Thanks for the mic, bro. So my hand is not where my mouth is, bro. Yeah, no, like I say, I don't know. It's kind of hard to rate things for me because I usually take a while to rate things. Obviously, we literally just came off of it, so this is our first horror movie, and I'm not really sure how to rate it, to be honest. Like, you're sat there like, if you give it a 9, I'm gonna kill him. But like, it's kind of hard to give it an actual rating when I've just finished watching it. Like, I don't think it's a bad film. I don't know.
I think that's enough of Michael Myers for now. Bye. So we are about to watch the Blair Witch Project. I'm not going to say anything because I want to hear Miles's thoughts on this movie. And here he is with his first thoughts before we press play.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I've never actually heard of the Blair Witch Project. Mr. Kenzavondo was like, "What? Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've not heard of this film before." So I don't know what I'm getting into. I mean, I see this little like Doom logo there, like the red Doom logo. It does kind of look like a Doom logo though, like with the Eternal Blade. Like, oh, that's like I said, the Eternal Blade, the Crucible Blade, I should say. I don't really know what to expect. Maybe a witch. I don't know. A Blair witch. What would a Blair be? I don't know. A B layer witch. So I don't know what to see. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of this film. I was told it is very important for found footage, and I'll be honest, I don't really watch found footage stuff. So once again, this is all new to me.
So here we go, and we'll
I don't know.
see you after.
Hey, Stinky.
Shut up. So I've just finished watching the Blair Witch Project, and it was worse than I remembered, if I can be honest with you. This is the fourth time I've sat down this monster of a movie, and here's Miles for his first thoughts as the horror noob. And I'll quick fire some questions, and I'll tell you some info at the end of the movie about this film. So, Miles, what is your opinion on this film?
There's not much of a film there, to be honest. Like, I feel like nothing happened. I'm gonna be honest. Like, okay, so this baby thing attacked the tent, all right, and then one of them goes missing, and that's pretty much the film because they're lost. Like, is it meant to be like, oh, they're lost and stuff with a monster or whatever? And it's like nothing happens. They just go. "Arr, arr, arr." That's the whole movie. They're screaming. It's fucking it's boring.
Do you think that it was more psychological of them getting lost in the forest more than the actual Blair Witch itself?
Yeah, it's more psychological, right? But the problem is that it's boring. It's very boring. Like, I guess psychological, but it's really boring in my opinion. It's like, okay, you can see how they're acting and stuff, and they're like becoming distrustful of each other, right? But like, there's like, I feel like there's no point in the movie because nothing happens. Like, first of all, that guy's as stupid as hell. He's like, the mountain did anything anyway. Just kick it away. But we were all going to go south. We end up in the circle. Like, what are they? Like, I don't understand the film. There's nothing really going on. Like, I think I'm also not a fan of the fact that she's just recording everything. I wouldn't record everything. I guess I get the point is that you're going to record it, but I feel like there needs to be a reason to record it. And she's just like going, I don't know, I'm just vlogging it or whatever. Because that's not the actual like proper one though. Because from my understanding, they're the big camera, which is the actual documentary they're making, and the other one for, I don't know, shits and giggles. Yeah.
Also, I always thought there isn't, like, obviously it's fan footage, there's not meant to be added music or anything, but there was no, like, I look on even the reviews on the back of this, it says, will scare you witless, it's a fright fest, the dreads is infectious, petrifying. I watched it, I think I watched this when I was, like, maybe 7, and I was just like, what's going on here? Like, what was your opinion on the actual horror, the scare, the factor? Like, this thing says it's a fright fest. Where are the frights?
Yeah, there's literally zero frights. The problem is, it's probably like a psychological thing, right? But there's nothing there. Like, I'm not a prescribed, therapist and can't go, you see, this is very good writing because the characters are slowly breaking apart. But I'm sorry, like, I think this movie is very uninteresting. I think it's boring. Like, I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, they had like the symbols and stuff. This movie probably had a budget like £30. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the most expensive part was the bags. But I don't really have any words for this movie other than I think it's boring. I think it's uninteresting. The characters are fucking stupid. Also, if I was lost, right? I understand this is 1997, so obviously if I was lost, right, I didn't live then, so. But if I was lost, first of all, I would never catch myself getting lost because I will never risk getting lost ever. It's like, someone has to be got to your navigation. They have to go, yep, I know there, I know all this, I know all this.
Don't go into a forest.
Yes.
So the thing about Blair Witch is, the only reason I would say it's relevant is because it was the first found footage movie really to get any any budget, because it's most yeah, any recognition. I think it's the highest grossing found footage film because it was the first one to really go that far, but like it's just not that good. Like I understand it's the first found footage, but obviously I'm not gonna say I'm not a big found footage guy. I think it's one of the worst genres in the horror and film in general. I am the slasher guy, yeah, but there's nothing. Like, we watched the alternative endings, and I think there's 4 of them, right? There's 4 endings in total, and I think we probably came to a consensus that the hanging one was the best one. Like, I just genuinely, nothing happened. There's no scares. We didn't, like, I understand maybe they're trying to keep the Blair Witch a mystery, but I wanted to know more. I wanted to know what the Blair Witch looked like. I wanted to see, like, something, like... what?
The only thing we have is a fucking... Okay, so we heard it's like a deer woman thing, right? But then we've also... The best thing we actually have of it is a fucking baby thing attacking the tent.
And the only reason that is because they reference at the very start that children died in the 40s, 1940s, and like... But it genuinely... I've got it on Blu-ray. That's the 4th time it's brought out, and I think it's going to be the last time it's ever going to come out. It's going to sit on my shelf and dust until I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely, like, listen, Halloween, right? I wasn't sure to rate that one, right? So I just gave it like a 6 for safety, right? This gets like a 3 or 2. I'm sorry, I didn't like this. I presume the Blair Witch, it has to be spiritual, I presume, though, because then the endings, right? It implies spiritual. Like, did he get possessed? What did he see? Why did the camera drop? Why did he get hit? Like, there are all these questions, right? But it's not like interesting. It's like, well, that's fucking stupid. That's what I'm more like, rather than like, oh, I want to know.
I'm pretty sure if you go online, there's probably some backstory and like theories for Blair Witch, which would be, I think I'll actually have a look at someday. Yeah, honestly, there was just nothing, and Miles, he said obviously with the Halloween he can't give a rating that fast and whatever, but I think he gave you his rating. Like, genuinely, I think it's just so overrated for what it is. Like, there's nothing to it, and I don't want to sit here and just bash a film that started a genre.
Humongous genre as well. Especially humongous genre, especially on like indie like YouTubers and stuff, because it's like it's a lot easier to do, so it's a massive thing. My problem is, like, it's just, I feel like nothing really happens that's interesting, and it's more on a psychological level. I understand that, but the characters aren't exactly likable to me. They're not really pushing anything. It's not like, oh, I want these characters to be safe, or oh no, what's gonna happen. I just want to know more about like what they're actually talking about, but they want to keep it ominous, which makes sense. But I think the movie failed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, because like it was dimensional. You said, wasn't it?
I think it's probably like a spiritual. I think it's a spiritual like being.
Because I think they might have been like in a loop or something, and like this thing was retorting reality for them and making them go to find these structures, and then finding this house out of nowhere, and like it was just, I don't think there's much else we can say because we want to sit here and bash it for half an hour.
I'll say, listen, next time I have a Force type game, bro, I'll just play Slenderman and find the pages. How about that?
So, the original budget was $35,000 to $60,000. But the final cost was $200,000 to $750,000, and it premiered January 23rd, 1999. We could tell it had that budget because, like, obviously for a fan footage, it was genuinely dreadful.
I'll be honest, I thought it was less budget, to be honest. I'll be honest. Listen, I bet you money, all that expenses will be the cameras they used in the film. The camera will be $500,000, the little camera $250,000. There's the budget.
The only reason this film is relevant is because, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, it was the highest grossing fan footage film ever, grossing $250 million worldwide on a budget of $750,000 max. Is pretty extraordinary, but the surge, I think, which this movie spawned was kind of good for the horror genre, because in the 2000s there's a lot of fan footage films like Paranormal Activity and Wreck and stuff, which are stuff I've watched, but like I just do not like fan footage. And Paranormal Activity was on a budget of 15,000, and it's better. Like, I don't know what else to say, really.
I think it's a shame as well because like I think this movie could have been very cool to me, but I think it just fails on all fronts, unfortunately. And I don't want to hate the found footage genre because I have had one movie I watched, and so technically my third horror movie if we include the FNAF movie. But that movie,
I think that's enough Blair Witch Project talk.
absolutely, get me out of here. I've been locked in here for days.
And yeah. Hello, we're just about to watch Scream at 1996, where the infamous Ghostface first appears. I thought I'd just say that Wes Craven directed this movie. He also directed and created A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, so he has got two icons for horror. Since Miles is the horror noob, here are his first expectations for this movie since I've watched it before.
Well, I never knew that whoever the hell you just said made this and Nightmare on Elm Street. That's pretty cool. But to be honest, for expectations, I'm feeling pretty good about this one after watching the Blair Witch Project. I'm feeling a lot better about watching this movie than not because I wasn't confident in it, but let's just say like when your expectations have been shot so far low, I feel like anything could be enjoyable, you know, and yeah, I mean, I think Ghostface is cool. I'm looking forward to him. Only experience I have with him is obviously the iconic mask and him with a knife, because killers love knives, and Dead by Daylight.
It's been kind of a strange thing, because we watched Halloween, which kind of made this slasher franchise go crazy. Then we watched Blair Witch Project, what created fan footage, and Scream, what came out in 1996, was the thing what remade and redefined horror for the early 2000s and remakes and stuff. So here we go, and we'll see what Miles thinks of this movie. We are just off watching the original 1996 Scream, and I've got a few first questions I needed to ask Miles before we actually, First of all, what was your opinion on it, and were you able to guess the killers halfway through or nearer the end?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of mogging the killers, you know. I guessed the right one, wrong one, right one, wrong one, I'd say. So, yes.
Who did you think was the most shocking out of the two of them?
Oh, I always knew Shaggy was a killer. I don't know. I'd say I was the scariest killer out of the three of them.
Do you think they'd done a good job of making you second guess it all?
Yeah, they did a really good job, to be fair, with the second guessing. I think it was a good film. I do think it was a good film, and I think I do like it. It's funny, it's good, and it's good at making you guess. It's not like just like a bad film like the Minecraft movie, for example, where it's like really bad so you laugh at it. It's actually a funny film.
I see you took a liking to Dewey, who is the goat of all horror.
Bro, Dewey, Dewey, on Dewey, he's like, I'm just getting ice cream, bro. Just eating the ice cream mid talk with his fucking boss, and then his boss, he's getting bossed around by his sister around his boss too, bro. He's the goat. He is the goat.
Were you a fan of the kills in the movie?
I did like the kills in the movie, to be fair, because although a lot of them were just like stabbings, or like for example, the first one, the guy got his insides blown out, and I like them. I think that they did a good job with the kills. I really like the one where the girl gets stuck in the garage door. Guy already knew, oh yep, she's dead. I also like that, I forgot the killer's name, but he like comes back to life and it's like, this is the part where he comes back now, and then she immediately shoots him in the head. Yeah, I liked that kill.
Obviously not being a horror pro like myself, but obviously me during the movie, I was telling you what references for the movie were. Like, were you a big fan of them?
Well, yeah, I like the references, because I feel like the whole point of it is more of like I'd say a retrospective on the 80s films. Since I believe this is 1997 that it came out, right? Was it 1997 or 97 or 96, right? What I liked about it, well, we'll just say 97 for now, right? But in 97, I like that it was like a retrospect on the 80s ones, like the guy's like, see, if you're a virgin, you die, and if you live, if you've had sex, death, alcohol, death. I like that. I like it's so self-aware of everything going on.
Yeah, because basically it's mocking the world of like these horror movies exist, and this guy is just going around saying all these things about this and that, but drugs, alcohol, sex, and whatever. It's just funny.
Yeah, I do like how it's just so self-aware in it, because all these movies happen. I like Halloween, how they had the screams and stuff, like, and they even had the soundtrack for Halloween bits like playing because obviously they were watching it. I think it was really cool. I think they did a really good job, and I like the only thing I don't like about the film that's like a major don't like isn't actually the film problem. It's just the fact we don't have it on Blu-ray, so it's on a tiny screen.
Yeah, this was the problem when I first got this DVD as well. It's on. No, I don't even know why, because I don't know what numbers are. But basically, the width and height of it wasn't full screen, so we were having to watch on this. But that was just my bad of not being prepared and not watching it in like 2 years. Would you go back to the Scream franchise, Miles?
Yeah, I absolutely would. I think that was a really good film. I actually really enjoyed that. I'd say I probably enjoyed it the most. I don't know if I'd enjoy it more on a second watch though, obviously, because it's a first time for me, so I don't really know what's going to happen. So I can't say it'd be better on a second watch. Obviously now I'll see the jokes coming and stuff and the twists, but I did really like it. But like I say, it's difficult to compare to like Halloween, for example, because Halloween's like, you know, like a full series of this, or this is more mocking it, while also still respecting horror movies at the same time though. It's more, you know what I mean, it's more like a respectful mocking to it, you know what I mean, just like poking fun at it rather than. It's not like it's made out of people who love the genre, clearly.
So, what would you rate this movie? Because I think it's a solid like 7.5.
See, I'd actually give it an 8. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'd give Halloween between, I say, 5, 6, 7 range, because like I say, this is my first one. So like I say, as I get more into the genre and I go back to it, we'll see how I think of it, right? The Blair Witch Project, that. Oh my goodness, 2 or 3, probably like a 2, and then Scream, I would give an 8, honest.
Do you think you're much happier watching Halloween, Blair Witch, and then having a good Scream at the end?
Yeah, dude, that'll probably help Scream a lot out as well, because not only was it just a funny movie, I just watched one of the worst horror movies, not just horror movies, one of the worst movies I've ever watched. So yeah, I'll say I'll take it. I'll
watch the Minecraft movie.
Bro, I actually think I'd rather watch the Minecraft movie than the Jesus Christ. The movie's nothing. Like, bro, this woman with her fat head is in my face going, oh, I can't believe it, like, there's everyone, the Blair Witch. And we don't even know what the Blair Witch is. Is it a baby? A deer monster thing? What is it? A ghost? Stupid. Children's spirit ghost, probably, because there's a bunch of handprints and stuff. And then the ending... Doo-doo, I'm sorry to all the actors and stuff. I'm sorry for saying you have a fat head, but you do have a little bit of a fat head.
But going back to Scream, were you, obviously knowing that there's more killers in the franchise, like that more than one, did you expect there to be 2?
Well, you already know the answer. Yeah, I did. I was like, yeah, I swear there's 2. I swear, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's 2, and then there was 2.
Did you think there was possibly more?
For a second, I was like, oh, there's a third one, and I just heard the mask. I wasn't sure. I thought there would be a maximum of 4, but I wasn't sure. But I did feel like there was more than 1.
Comparing Laurie Strode and Sidney Prescott's final girls, who do you think was better in your opinion in the movie?
Well, that's kind of difficult, because that's a difficult question. You see, that is actually a difficult question, because how I think of it, right? That they're completely different characters, obviously, right?
Yes.
That, like, Laurie Strode, she didn't even believe that the boogeyman / the shape / Michael Myers exists, right? Well, Sydney's fully aware of Ghostface.
Very early on, she gets attacked.
Yeah, she gets attacked like immediately. So it's very different, like, handling of the same genre, like, of killer. But my thing is, okay, so this is how I kind of view it, right? So Scream is cool, right? Obviously, Scream's cool, but Michael Myers is cooler than Scream. This is factual, right? He is cooler than him, right? I do like Laurie Strode more than Sydney. No, I didn't hate Sydney. I liked Sydney. I think I prefer Laurie Strode though over Sydney, I think.
Okay. That's the right answer.
There was not a wrong answer, buddy.
I don't know what else we can really say about it, but clearly Miles enjoyed it.
I do actually think it's a great film, to be honest. If you don't know anything about horror like myself, give it a watch.
This has been the end of Horror Noob versus Horror Pro, where we watched Halloween, the Blair Witch Project.
Sorry, I had to sorry, I actually physically, like, hurt when I said, heard Voldemort's name, we'll call it. The one that shall not be named.
And Scream, which gets a thumbs up by Miles. And
Halloween. I'd give Halloween a thumb up too. I just not the Voldemort one.
Bye.